Welcome back, Beginner Salsa. This is week 4 in our lessons. We're going to add on 2 new things, simple, but it'll make it fun, and a really big pattern.
I feel like the heart of what we're doing today is this giant pattern, putting together all the steps you guys know.
Yeah.
The first thing we're going to show you guys how to do is rotate your basic step. This is the beginning of rotation. We're going to do a lot more in our next session, right?
Yes.
So just a regular frame here, do a basic to show you, put it in context, and then we can start slowly rotating on our forward and back steps. I feel like if you do 2 basic steps, you should be able to get all the way around to do a 180. Big thing here is that I have to connect my upper and my lower body, because if I'm turning my hips and trying to rotate and I don't connect to my upper body, Shailey does not feel that, right?
Right.
So I have to make sure that I'm moving my lower body and my upper body like this. So as I step forward, I make my upper body move to the left like this, and I go forward, and as I go back, it's the same idea here. What are you doing?
I am actively listening to my leader so that I don't fall behind.
You mean actively listening? With your ears?
With my arms and my body.
Yeah. So we could actually do this without touching,
Yes.
right? So if I'm rotating, what she means by actively listening is she's paying attention to where my shoulders are, where my hips are, and she's staying square with those things. We can even get a lot more rotation, and if we do this well together, we can make it. In some ways, the arms are almost like cheating because it gives us a direct line of communication. So if I do something like this, suddenly Shailey can go along with me. Only one final note for the rotation. We have to be careful not to step outside of each other. I have to make sure I'm stepping underneath Shailey still, and she also has to make sure she steps under me. If we start stepping outside of each other, we are missing each other's centers, and we have to move through each other's centers in order to move as one unit. So when I'm coming towards Shailey, I go through her center. I'll make this as apparent as possible. Whereas if I'm going up here, Shailey's center is moving one way, and my center is moving the other way.
Now let's start something new, which is the shampoo.
Cool. So we're going to do this from where?
The alternating turns.
Sweet. So if you don't know the alternating turns, go back to which video?
The last video.
Let's show that one more time. So we do alternating turns. Shailey goes, I go, Shailey goes, and then as I go forward into the basic, I loop over her head and bring this arm over mine, and we're back to a frame. Let's break that down a little bit. So footwork, you should know, the turns you should know, so we're going to start from this handshake. It's more of like fingertip to fingertip, less of an actual handshake. Yeah? As I step forward on my left foot, Shailey goes back and I loop this over her head. Notice I'm not going up here. I'm also not throwing her hands at her face, which I see a lot of. I loop it over her head. At this point, we let go of each other so that I can bring my hand down to her back and she can finish with her hand. As I'm bringing my feet together, I bring this hand over my head. Similar thing, we let go of each other, and then we're back into our basic step with closed frame. Again, handshake, forward on my left, loop. As I'm bringing my feet together, I loop, and we're in frame. I got nothing else to say about that. It's very straightforward. It's just a matter of making sure you start with the right arm.
So a tip for the follower, as the leader is going over your head, make sure that you don't open up those shoulders, because we tend to turn it.
Right. That's actually a really good point you're bringing, Shailey. Thanks for doing that. Because a lot of times when the leader starts going here, it can feel like it's a spin. But notice what I do with my hand that's different. If I'm spinning her, my elbow comes up to give her space, and I draw a circle around her head, right? This one, I'm keeping my elbow down, which should be a communication to you as a follower that the spin isn't happening, and then I keep it close to her head here so that we're not going around this way, which could confuse you that's a turn. This should be no issue for either the leader or the follower, because the leader knows what's happening in my face loop. So keep the elbow down, close over her head, and then the same thing here. And we have it.
So now let's move on to a pattern. So everything that we learned up until this week, we're just gonna add a really big pattern.
I've also found too that some of the patterns that I learned many years ago stick with me if I practice them, and they become phrases of movement rather than their own distinct moves, right? So sometimes if you connect like 5 or 6 steps and you dance it enough, you will dance those 5 or 6 steps if you start in that order, if that makes any sense. Let's do this.
All right, now I'm gonna show you the pattern.
Here we go, starting with 2 rotating basics, right? That's the end of the 2 rotating basics.
And now the parallel breaks with turn.
From an open break, go ba ba ba, yum ba ba, yum ba ba, yum ba ba.
And then we're gonna finish that off with 2 rotating basics.
Same thing you just did. Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow.
And now back to the basics, the side basic and the 5th position breaks.
Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow.
And finishing it off again with 2 rotating basics.
Quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick, slow, and quick, quick, slow.
And that leads into the alternating turns with the double shampoo.
Ba yum bum ba yum bum ba yum bum ba yum bum ba. Let's do that whole thing again, this time a little bit faster so you can see how slow it works. You may have to help me with the pattern again here. So we do 2 rotating basics. At the end of the 2 rotating basics, we open break to parallel. She spins under, we do 1 more parallel. Back to 2 rotating basics. What happens? Ah yes, side to side, 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 then 5th position, bum, bum. 2 basics again. You can play, you can do more or less basics. We try to keep it to maximum 2. And then we shampoo. I think you got it.
Yeah.
Cool, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe to our channel if you have not already to see more videos like this, because next session, we're gonna work more on rotational things like cross-body leads. It's gonna be a really good session. A very important session too, that is kind of the segue into intermediate level salsa dancing.
Yep. So make sure you like, comment, and hit that bell button below to get notifications every time we post.